Hi, my name is Klaus. I'm recording this to give you an idea of what the 2-minute introductions that I'll ask you to do at the beginning of the class could look like. I was trained as a philosopher. I studied in Munich and in Paris. I focused pretty soon on visual arts, looking at different relationships to the world in words and in images, doing a master on running Magritte's word paintings. Then I did a work on nonlinear thinking, a kind of jumpy associative thinking. And then for my PhD, I decided to focus on visual arts again and mainly focused on visual narratives. So the question how one picture could tell a story. That's been a focus of my research for the last 20 years or so. And I've extended it quite a bit, looking at narrative in abstract art, also then looking at narrative as a kind of more universal phenomenon in society. I shared an article with you I wrote for Kaunas Biennial that brings together these different perspectives. I think it's a good introduction to narratology, which is the field that studies narrative and where I've been most working in. Yeah, what else? I'm also a curator and an art critic. So I write for different art magazines, try to write critically about contemporary art, and also write for institutions like the Albertina, the Centre Pompidou, Schirnkunsthalle, MUMOC, and so on and so forth around exhibitions. Recently, I've mainly focused also on questions of AI and how that influences our thinking. And that's also one main question around narrative is really what narrative does with our thinking and how art can use different, we call them cognitive scripts. I'll tell you about that in the class, to bring stories into our heads. My big questions for the class are really around your practice, around the questions you might bring to the discussion. What are things that are open, unclear for you, where you would like some guidance, and what you understand as narrative and why it matters to you.